Internet. You join me today next to a crater in the middle of nowhere in Saudi Arabia with a bunch of really horrific friends that you should never hang out with. It's so massive. Akil, do you have any comments about this experience?
Man, this is massive. 2-kilometer most, and there's one oasis over there. I think we should probably go there.
Salah, do you want to sound stupid?
No.
Okay. We're still on our way down. We're about to be in the middle of that salt flat. It's gonna be nuts.
Here is the nearly ineffable size of the Wahba crater.
We are now in the middle of the crater, which I'll try to show you in some detail. There's an interesting phenomena going on here. All the water collects in the bottom of the crater from, all around this area because it's the lowest point. But then it evaporates and you get this bizarre effect on the ground of like this calcified dirt that was clearly mud at some point. And it's almost like stone, but it's not. A chemical reaction has happened here. This is like some kind of calcium carbonate mud thing. And look at the salt on the ground. You can see it. So how would you describe this?
It's incomprehensible, man. It's like it's so weird. It's massive, and in the sheer scale of it, you just don't, your perception, your depth of it doesn't really allow you to have an idea until you're actually here. And then when you're all the way up there, and you look down, you won't be able to see us. We're like microscopic specks. It's ridiculous. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
Now we are in this incredible little valley that leads up to the rim, and behind me you can see that it's full of plants, and at the top there's a little kind of oasis, like a palm grove. From here you can see some of the vegetation, some of the foliage present in this crater. It may not look like much, but in Saudi Arabia, in this part of the desert, there's quite a bit growing naturally. It's impressive, different. So, we are almost to the rim still. We keep climbing, and we realize that we are kind of running out of water, kind of still really far away from where we camped, kind of still we're planning to climb a massive mountain and go all the way back down. And we're not particularly close to that mountain, and we're really far from the cars. People are tired. Things are getting interesting.
We cooked? Are we cooked? We're fucking shish kebab, dude. You kidding me?
Everyone's having a blast. We have chosen a hybrid course after being sort of destroyed by heat and wind and just like raw elements out here in this sun-blasted volcanic Saudi desert next to Al Wahba crater. Well, dang, Internet. For today, I think that we are finished. Right now, we're gonna go back to our camp, we're gonna hang out for a minute, and we're gonna recuperate. It's wild out here, it's super hot, and we've been walking for like 6 hours. But look at that beauty behind me. How wild is that? Woo! So after a long and painful day of hiking through that massive crater that is amazing, but also quite brutal and formed by volcanic explosions and scoured by heat, we are now back at camp with a couple of friends of mine who are madmen and idiots and occasional geniuses, which I feel that this time they've sort of outdone themselves by setting up a bit of a studio in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. We've managed to figure out how to bring an electric guitar and a drum set, and it's good fun. Now is a nice time to explain exactly why I sort of like Saudi Arabia so much. It's not necessarily because of Saudi Arabia itself, although this is a fascinating place with many wonderful things to explore. But this is a kind of broad cloth on which you have to go out and make amazing experiences with your friends in your place, wherever you are. Otherwise, you will do nothing. There's nothing to entertain you unless you create the entertainment yourself. That's why Saudi Arabia is so fascinating, because when you come here, you have only a few options. You can go out and find something that interests you, which allows you to find yourself in a way, or you can sit at home. Those are your only options. So, here we are on a fabulous night. Thank you, Saudi Arabia.